Hello Patrick. Hello Jack. We are delighted to welcome you to the Maison du Blues, in particular in the universe of the Blues Museum Studio. Wonderful for me, I love recording studios. Okay Patrick, let's chat. Okay, fine with me. You stir our interest, so tell us a little bit about your work. Well, I'm a musician first and foremost. Later I became an orchestrator and finally a conductor for many years. Have you been composing for a long time? Starting from the 70s, very early 70s. How old were you at that time? I was 10. Oh boy, very early. Oh yeah, very early indeed. It's a love story. How did this happen? Your family were musicians? My father was a great trumpet player. He worked with Quincy Jones and Alex Combel in major French studios. He also worked a lot at the Châtelet Theatre, the Mogador Theatre and the Moulin Rouge. He played in France, the US and around the world. So, you were constantly immersed in music. Did you work with him, travel with him? Very rarely. We did 2 or 3 galas together. There was a difference in age, of course, and then he had health problems and I was forced to stop playing. What brought you to musical composition? It was not your father. I don't know, really. I guess it's innate. It comes from the heart. I started at the age of 10, tinkling and tapping away. I loved that. I stopped because after that there was the conservatory years. For the piano it was still very basic what I wrote at that time. I still have some of the scores of those years. But it was when I was about 19 that I began to compose again and took off. So here we are in front of the many things that you created. Yes, just some of them. So, your first album, Besoin de Tendresse. Can you tell us about that? Is it truly adolescent? I liked this title, as it was an epic through the history of Middle Ages. A lot of things are happening in this record. It was written in 1991 and recorded at Studio Paris Sud in Vitry-sur-Seine with a sound engineer that I particularly liked. He is still part of this world, but no longer works in the studio. Okay, I noticed that there were a lot of drawings on the album cover. Oh yeah, absolutely. Did you also draw this? No, not at all. I asked Joel Bonte, an old friend of mine for 40 years or so, to make these beautiful drawings. In particular, I like them because he's also an artist and a great musician. I see on the cover that you're sitting at the piano and there's a little lady next to you. Yes, she is one of my sisters. She was very young. 1 year old, perhaps a year and a half. She's in her playpen. My parents had left her near the piano, maybe so that I could look after her, but she was more annoying than anything else. But hey. It was the age. It was really early, this career start. You were at about 10 at the time. Yeah, I started with the trumpet with my father, who taught me, but it was not my favourite instrument. A second album, Stand By. Not to be confused with Stand By Me. Right, not to be confused with Stand By Me. It's blues, if you like. Right, this is the blues. That's quite clear, that's very good. And what is it? It's film credits? Yes, absolutely. These are existing generics? Yes, I adapted and recorded them. Some music has been used in movies. I read a book out of Xavier Petit, a friend of mine. He wrote 2 Sid West books, March and World from Above, which is a wonderful book for children. These are compositions, while the others are excerpts. Yeah, these are excerpts, but sometimes they may also be integral pieces. Belle de Jour, Vieille Princesse, Souvenir du Métro, Métro Memories, In Contes et Légendes, Tales and Legends. All these titles, what is the inspiration? Belle du Jour, Princess of the Day, is the story of a princess. She sees her love and her lover leave, and it will end badly. So that's why we see in the last movement in this piece that there is a sad passage. Souvenir du métro, metro memories, because I am a 1930s subway fan. Being a fan, I had to write a piece where you also hear the subway at the start. Contes et légendes, tales and legends. One is always in the same fantasy spirit, the spirit of castles. I read such books or series when I was young, a teenager. I read tales and legends, such and such country or place that had inspired me, and this has stuck with me. And so, it's a major elaboration effort. Huge. It's very, very long. It takes time. It's not just the melody to write, there is also the coating. There's the orchestration, because we need the listener to feel this or that instrument stronger than others. And the quality of mixing? I am very professional and strict on this aspect. The third album is Double Éventail, or Double Éventail. It's a complete album of film music, 27 musical extracts. Yes, I wanted to make it a sort of business card, to use as we do classic business cards. I distributed this album everywhere to producers and directors who have been inspired by some pieces. For example, Inside the Earth, Soldier of Peace, which was made for a friend who was an auditor at UNESCO. Épée d'Or and the Spanish were openings, but more about that later. Double Éventail is the album, and with several atmospheres. Absolutely right. That goes from salsa, to jazz, funky music, symphonic music. Yes, salsa, jazz, blues too. There's a title of blues, there's rock, bossa nova, swing, cartoons, and then mountain atmospheres with The Last Shout and A Beautiful Winter. These are two short films that I... In Lift and Pursuit courses, there are two titles that were made after the course I followed, given by David Angel, the Grand Master of music, a great American saxophonist who was the right arm of the Golden Gate Quartet. Maurice Jarre too, he was a specialist in chase poursuite schemes. He wrote an outline and continued to do the whole piece of music. He then gave it to copyists, because at that time there were no suitable copy machines, and then the copyists gave it to the conductor. Okay, we'll move on to something else. We'll go to Sologne. How did you get the idea to make an album on the Sologne? Well, the Sologne is its nature, the harmony of nature and everything that happens in Sologne. It's so rich with its castles and its ponds. Let's talk about the ponds. One day I'm walking 6 o'clock in the morning near the castle, which is not far. There was a beautiful pond. While walking, I discovered the awakening of nature. And there I found lots of musical ideas that I recorded, either with a dictaphone or that I memorized so that I could rewrite it later. Okay, and the inspiration that comes from that while walking? Yes, the inspiration comes like that. The melody comes like that. The inspiration and the melody come like that. The harmony comes later. And the orchestration comes last, since that is what will develop and intensify the music. So here it was, my first symphony. Passion, love, nature. That's what I like to find in Sologne. I also like other regions. Charente, for example. I'm writing an album on the Charente. Summer perfumes in Charente. with an S, because the Charente releases another climate, another region. It's beautiful too. Frankly, we discover a lot of things. On that, we will make a total change, because we'll go to Seville. Fifth album, Printemps à Seville, Spring in Seville. It's the discovery of this city? Absolutely. It's the discovery of this city, the lights, the love of the city, the walks through the small streets. It's small streets because there are small streets that are deserted. We think they are cutthroat, and then not at all. We walk quietly in the parks, and these parks are beautiful. I'll not speak just about the cathedral. There is the palace, which has beautiful gardens, the lemon trees, orange trees. It's a city full of different lights. The flamenco? Yes, absolutely. Are there songs inspired by this music? Absolutely, we're right in it. It goes from flamenco through the great symphony music and the Espanol, where we find the same orchestration, by the way, same recording in the double Vivante album. Seville, do you have a family background there? Well, my great-grandfather was from Alicante. Patrick, helps to get to know each other better. Thank you, Jack.